It is gonna be so funny.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so anywho, we're gonna get started with the prologue page. It starts on page 7.
Hmm.
And whenever you're ready,
Okay.
please go.
Yep. It's me again. KHROTHU. King Hades, ruler of the underworld. I'm back to let you in on the TRUTH, the totally real, unadulterated, trustworthy history of other Greek myths. Until I came along, I bet everybody you knew about the myths was one big FIB, factually inaccurate bull hooey. For that, you can thank my little brother, the brave and mighty Zeus, T-Bams for short. Zeus is the slimiest mythomaniac, old Greek speak for liar, liar, pants on fire in the world. No, make that the universe. Zeus lies in the AM, he lies in the PM, he'd lie to the FBI and the CIA if he had half a chance. And for sure he lied when he put together his version
of TBFEOGM, the Big Fat Book of Greek Myth. You've heard of the hero Hercules, right? Check out the Zeus-approved version of the myth about him. Go on, read it. Straight from the pages of the BFBOGM. Hercules was the mortal son of Zeus. Like Zeus, he had the courage of a lion and the strength of a bull. He was given 12 labors. Each one would have been impossible for a normal mortal, but Hercules did all 12. Hercules was the greatest hero Greece has ever known.
Okay.
Zeus makes it sound as if Hercules did the 12 labors all by himself. Not a chance. Hercules was strong, all right. He had great big muscles, but he had an itty-bitty brain. The TRUTH is, if it hadn't been for a certain street-smart lion, a loyal 9-headed monster, and a quick-thinking ruler of the underworld, Hercules wouldn't have made it past labor 1. Here's another bit of TRUTH for you. Big muscles can only do so much. Without brains, muscles are just, well, bulgy things in your arms and legs. In addition to big muscles, Hercules also had a big temper. It got him into some mighty big trouble. Who do you think helped Hercules out of all the jams he got himself into? Take a wild guess. It wasn't T-Bams. No. Zeus was too busy hurling T-bolts and making proclamations. He never took the time to give the kid a hand. The TRUTH is, it was always UHTTR. Uncle Hades to the rescue.
Keep going.
Sit down. Put your feet up. Let me tell you the real story of Hercules. I remember everything about the night that great big baby was born.
Okay. Big baby. Stare that centaur down, Cyclops, I chanted as I boogied over to pick up my helmet of darkness. I put it on, and poof, I vanished. I, Hades, ruler of the underworld, was dancing around my palace. Not that dignified, maybe, but that night I was too excited about the big wrestling match at Palace Stadium to sit still. The winner would earn the Wrestling Immortals Championship girdle. Old Speak rebelled. Eagle-eyed Cyclops, the one-eyed giant, was up against half and half centaur, who was part man, part horse. As always, I had my money on the big one-eyed guy. I kept on chanting, "You can make him blink, Cyclops!" as I tossed my helmet into my okay.
KHROTU wallet. It's a magical wallet, and it expands to hold whatever I put inside. Then it shrinks back down to a fit in my pocket. Nice, huh? Next, I bop down to the kitchen. Hey,
Oh,
toss some Ambrose salt and a couple of cans of nectar cola into the wallet too, because that wallet is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Ambrosia and nectar, the food and drink of the gods. Watch it now. That's what keeps us young and good looking forever. Now, whatever mortal food I might have to eat, I could sprinkle on a little Ambrose salt, chug a nectar cola, and turn it into a meal fit for a god. Go, Cyclops, go! I chanted, doing a little spin. Hey! I'd made the rounds of my underworld kingdom earlier that evening. Everything was shipshape. My queen, Persona, goddess of spring, was working up on earth making the flowers bloom. So I had nothing better to do than to head up to the Palace Stadium in Thebes to catch the big match. I grabbed a slice of leftover pizza from the fridge and headed out into the night. Cerebelia, my three-headed guard dog, trotted at my heel.
okay.
He barked as he made it. Beeline for the royal stables. No, you have to stay here tonight, Sibri. I told him, ow. His third head wobbled in protest. The head had started acting up lately. I made a mental note to give a little extra training when I got back. You have to guard my kingdom, Serby. I said, that's your job. My dog turned his back on me and sat down in protest. He knew he'd get over it, so I continued on my way to the stables. I hitched my steeds, Harley and Davidson, to my sportiest little chariot and drove up to Earth. But now, thanks to the shortcut that Silver had told me, I could get up to the Earth in only 2 hours. That night, I made great time. So long, I dug out of a cave and parked in the usual lodge near Athens. Then I began chanting the astral traveling spell. This is
Okay.
This is a little plus of being a god. When we're on Earth, all we have to do is recite a certain godly spell containing the zip code of where we want to go, and zip, we're there. And so, I chanted a spell for Palace Stadium. Zip! I looked around. I had expected to see wrestlers and trainers and hordes of loyal fans waving pennants and yelling, Cyclops! Instead, I found myself in a deserted room. It had marbled floors and tiny little windows way up high on the walls. I started walking. A few flickering lanterns lit the hallways. It took me a moment to realize what had happened. By some astro-traveling mix-up, instead of going to Palace Stadium, I'd landed in the basement of the Royal Palace of Thebes. I chanted the spell again. Zip! Stayed right where I was. I figured the astro-traveling network was down. I decided to make my way out of the Royal Palace and try again.
I hurled up the stairs. Okay, I hurled up the staircase to my left and reached the landing. I heard voices. Quickly, I took my helmet from my wallet. I put it on and no one could see me now. I tiptoed to the room where I'd heard the voices. I stuck my invisible head in at the door. A nursemaid was holding a bundle wrapped in a blanket. She was showing the bundle to a young mortal woman sitting up in a bed. That young woman, I'd met her somewhere. I was sure of it. But where? Oh, I couldn't think. Rejoice, Princess Alcamene, said the nursemaid, holding up what turned out to be a great big baby. It's a boy. Alcamene. I knew that name. But Who was she? I was about to tiptoe away when the princess spoke. A boy? She said. Oh, dear. I stopped. In those days, everyone wanted boy babies. It made no sense, even way back then, but that's how it was. So I waited to find out why this princess was unhappy to have a boy, okay?
Be glad, said the nurse. He is big and strong. He looks like a child of a god. He is the child of a god, Princess Acne, said Princess Acne. His father is Zeus, remember? Zeus? Yay, gods! Was there nowhere I could go without hearing was there nowhere I could go without hearing his blasted name? Dang. All right, it all came flooding back to me then. Of course I'd met Acne at her wedding to my little brother. She and Zeus had been married for only a short time, but it was evidently long enough for Zeus to have fathered a son. And if this was Zeus's son, that made the great big baby my nephew. I was an uncle. Of course, Zeus's main hobby was founding a Zeus dynasty. He had hundreds of children, which meant that I had hundreds of nieces and nephews. But I'd never seen any of them when they were born, when they were this brand new. Uncle Hades. I like the sound of that. Suns and moons, exclaimed the nursemaid. Zeus is married to Hera now. She hates Zeus's children by his former wives, especially his sons. Now, that was the truth. Hera was queen of the universe now.
She had it all, but she was still jealous of Zeus's exes and their offspring. I know, the princess said sadly. We cannot risk Hera's jealous rage. She might destroy all thieves. Quick, take the boy and to the peasant woman who sues for me. She has 12 children of her own. Surely she won't mind one more. Ask her to care for him until we figure out what to do. The nursemaid nodded. She wrapped around the blanket around the big baby. Then she held him out to his mother for a kiss. I flattened myself against the wall as the nurse rushed past me onto the room. You're a heavy bundle, you are, she said to the big baby as she went by. I hurried after her, and I always tried to find someone to follow. That way I don't have to worry about anyone seeing doors that seem to open on their own. I followed the nursemaid down the hallway out into the palace. Once outside, I began chanting the astral traveling spell to take me personally match.
But halfway through, I stopped. I wanted to make sure that great big baby got where he was going. The kid was my nephew after all. And besides, Cyclops was a star. There would be some warm-up matches before it was his turn to step into the ring. I had time to wait and see that the big baby ended up in the right hands. I tailed the nursemaid through the winding streets of Thebes and out the city gates. A full moon shone that night, lighting our way. Far down the road, I saw the lights of Palace Stadium. The sight made me weak in the knees. I had to get there in time to see Cyclops put Centaur in a quadruple leg hold. I decided I could trust the nursemaid to deliver the big baby safely to the peasant, after all. I just started chanting again when the baby began to fuss.
Oh,
Stars and comets, said the nursemaid. Don't tell me you're hungry. The big baby kept fussing. Great constellations, the nursemaid exclaimed. I must find you some milk.
Okay. She peered into the field beside the road. And in the corner, some cows lay sleeping. I'll move faster without you, said the nursemaid as she put the big fuzzy baby down in the tall grass by the side of the road. I'll be back with some milk. And off she ran. Toward the cows. Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
wanted
Oh, that was an ugly baby.
it's a big baby.
That was a
He was
huge
ugly.
baby.
It was an ugly cry.
I wanted to call after her. I mean, you don't just leave a new baby lying on the side of the road. But she was already out of sight. Now the big baby stopped fussing and started crying for real.
Oh, that wasn't
Okay.
real.
His screeching was awful. I put my hands over my sensitive, godly ears. A cloud passed over the moon. I looked down the road. The turrets of Palace Stadium glowed in the distance. I looked down at the big baby. His mouth was wide open. He was really wailing now. I'd never spent so much time with a just-born baby. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I couldn't go off and leave him there bawling, okay?
I sat down beside that big baby. I sat down beside that big ugly baby. Quiet, I told him in the nicest possible way. But he kept crying. I was invisible, so the baby didn't know his Uncle Hades was there. So he went on screaming. I stuck out a finger and tickled him under the chin. And he stopped crying. I tickled him some more, and he started making happy, burbling sounds. The nursemaid would be back soon, I told myself as I tickled. The second she returned, I'd start chanting. I'd definitely get to the stadium in time to see eagle-eyed body slam go half and half. I kept tickling that big old ugly baby. He looked like Zeus, all right. Puffy cheeks, rolls of fat on his neck. Not that there was much of a neck. Not much hair either. But on a baby, it all looked sort of cute in an ugly way. I walked my fingers down the big baby's chest and started tickling his tummy. Me, Hades, dreaded ruler of the underworld, going, get you cool. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. The big baby's cooing and verbally made me forget to keep my guard up. I never saw anyone
You just skipped
coming.
Venetia.
I told
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Girl,
I'm like, that sounds like
you skipped Venetia and me. I mean,
so
she's just ready for
sorry.
it.
Oh, okay,
Woo.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all.
And Venetia's so nice, she's going to let you read.
I know you should have stopped me, Benicia. Stop
You got
me.
to.
I got you. I got you.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Bob.
All right.
Mhm.
The big baby's cooing and bubbling made me forget to keep up my guard. I never saw anyone coming down the road. The first thing I heard was a voice saying, "Look, a baby." I glanced up. Gee, God, it's Sarah.
Okay. Is that me?
Is it?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
guess it is.
Bob.
Okay, yeah, Bob, it's you.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Where are we?
Page
two.
21, chapter 2, Big Bang.
It was Hera, right? Okay, good. Hera stood above me, staring down at the great big baby. Her best girlfriend of the moment, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, stood right beside her. Oh, was I glad I was invisible. So glad. Hera looked about as friendly as a viper. Athena may be goddess of wisdom, but she's also goddess of war. She was dressed, as always, in a full suit of armor, complete with helmet. She's not exactly a goddess you'd want to meet on a lonely road at night. Hera bent down and picked up the great big baby. He's heavy, she said. She eyed him closely. He looks like someone I know. Oh, all babies look alike, said Athena.
Okay. Hera frowned. No, he definitely reminds me of someone. But who? Athena whisked the big baby from Hera's arms. Let's take him to that city over there and find him a nursemaid before he starts squalling. The baby's real nursemaid was hiding behind an olive tree watching. Clearly, she wasn't willing to tangle with these two powerful immortals. Who could blame her? The goddesses carried the big baby towards Thebes. I didn't trust Hera one bit, so with a last longing look at Palace Stadium, I took off after them. They went straight to the royal palace. They brushed past the servants and took the baby right to Princess Alchemy. We found this big baby by the side of the road, Athena said. Take care of him, will you? He may amount to something one day. The princess could barely hide her joy as she took back her baby. I've got it, Hera exclaimed suddenly. He looks just like my husband. Why, if this is Zeus's baby, okay.
Athena grabbed Hera's elbow. Let's go home and see if anyone is sacrificing any bulls to us tonight. Hera took one look at the baby. He is Zeus's son, she hissed. I can tell. Hera liked fragrant bull sacrifice smoke as much as any goddess, so she let Athena yank her away. But Hera looked back. I could tell from her face that she was planning something special for that big old ugly baby. And it wasn't any birthday party either. That big baby was in danger. I decided to stick around because by this time, Uncle Hades, had grown fond of the kid. Okay, he's Zeus's son, but he was a mere mortal. T-Bams would never pay any attention to him, that was for sure. My queen personified lived down in the underwear of me for only 3 months a year. We decided that our odd living arrangements would make it hard to raise a family, so we had no children of our own. This big ugly baby was my blood relative. He was as close as I was likely to get to having a son.
Okay.
I also knew that when it came to revenge, no one held a candle to Hera. So I stayed in the nursery that night, watching invisibly over Princess Alchemy and the big baby. I looked out the nursery window. I saw the Palace Stadium torchlights blink out. I wondered who won the big match. I hope Eagle had planned a half and half flank to the match. Close your eyes, little baby, said Princess Alchemy softly. I mean, close your eyes, big baby. Rolled the big baby as Princess Alchemy. She wasn't one bit sleepy. I listened to the big baby gooing and guying. I listened to my stomach growling. A single slice of leftover pizza isn't exactly a dinner fit for a god. I was growing weak from hunger. Around midnight, I decided to make a quick dash into the Thebes to get a bite. I knew the perfect spot. A fast service all-night Greek diner. It's a god's to eat. I astro traveled to the diner and ordered a shish kebab.
Would you like some fries with that?
Come on, we got okay. We ain't got okay. Okay, we got to start over.
The counter mortal asked. Definitely, I told him. Just make it fast, will you? My order came in no time. I sprinkled on the Ambro salt, chugged down one of my Necticolas, and astro traveled straight back to the palace. Zip! I landed on the steps, and my godly ears were filled with the sound of a horrible, ichor-freezing scream. Ichor, it's what we gods have instead of blood. I raced to the nursery, not bothering with my helmet. The nursemaid stood in the doorway, shrieking. I dodged past her and into the room. I saw why she was screaming. 2 big blue serpents had managed to slither into the cradle. They had wound themselves around the big baby's neck. They were trying to choke the life out of him. The princess ran into the nursery. She began screaming even louder than the nursemaid.
Yep, that's loud.
The palace guards rushed in behind her, their torches blazing. They drew their swords. But at the cradle, they stopped. They were too late. The baby.
It's me, sorry.
Go ahead.
The baby. Second, okay. The baby
Ripped the throat.
gripped the throat of one big blue serpent in his left hand. In his right hand, he gripped the throat of the other. He was waving the snakes around like playthings. Goo goo gaga, he cooed. Then bang, he knocked the snakes together. When their heads met, the serpents sank their venomous fangs into each other's necks. The baby tossed them to the floor. Ugh. Stone dead. Nice work, kid, I said. Princess Alchemine turned. Hades, she said, clearly startled. What are you doing here? I had a little astral traveling mix-up, I said, and I told her how I'd ended up in her palace and how I'd heard Hera's threat. I thought I'd stick around and make sure no harm came to your baby. Oh, thank you, Hades, said Princess Alchemine. When I was married to Zeus, you always were my favorite brother-in-law. Not that the kid needed any help, I added. Okay.
I think it's my turn, but I am
Mhm.
lost.
Yeah, so we're on page 27. He's a born wrestler.
Okay, hold on. I think I just saw that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
No problem.
Okay. Okay. Not that the kid needed he's a born wrestler. Not even a day old yet, and he's already won his first match. Cool. Princess Agni looked very proud. Then she frowned. We've never had a snake problem in this palace, she said. I wonder if I should call an exterminator. Don't bother, I told her. Hera sent those serpents. You know how she feels about Zeus's sons by his former wives. Princess Agnes sighed. My baby will be in constant danger. Will you watch over him, Hades? I looked from her to that big old ugly baby. He was gooing and guying up a storm. I had noticed before he had dimples. Oh, adorable. What is it about babies that makes them so hard to resist? You are his uncle after all, added the princess. All right, I said. I try to protect him from Hera, but I can't guarantee that I'll be successful. Now, Hera is one tough
Baklava.
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 I
thought for a moment.
The food.
Baklava.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for a moment. Have you given the baby a name?
Okay.
No, said Aquaman. I can't decide between Chickapicus or Duckawaddles. Maybe different names, Alchemines, I said. You know, I think Hera might let up on your baby if you named him after her. You're joking, right? Said the princess. No joke, I said. It's the sort of thing we gods and goddesses take very seriously. What about calling him Hercules? It means for the glory of Hera. Princess Alchemine groaned. Oh, I can't, Hades, she said. I just can't. Every time I say his name, I'll think of that horrible goddess. Shh, I cautioned her. She might have one of her spies listening. I thought for a moment. I know. You can call him by the Roman version of the name Hercules. Hercules. The princess smiled. That was a nice ring to it. All right, Hades. Hercules it is. I smiled too. I just named my first baby.
Bob.
Chapter 3. Big Boo Boo.
Oh.
The very next week, I went up to Mount Olympus. It was the last thing I wanted to do. But a promise is a promise. And I had promised that help Hercules. I went straight to the ridiculously oversized palace where Hera lived. I told the door-opening nymphs I wanted to talk to Hera, and they showed me into the sitting room. Hera took her time, but at last she came into the room, all smiles. "Oh, Hades," she said. "So good to see you." "You too, Hera," I said. "Listen, I got some very nice news for you." Hera sat down. "Tell me," she said. "I could use some good news. I've just had this huge fight with Artemis. I found her hunting right outside one of my temples. I mean, if she has to stalk around in the woods half naked with her bow and arrows all the time, which apparently she does, can't she do it outside one of her own temples?" Hera let out a big sigh. Anyway, Hades, tell me the good news." "Well, remember that big baby?" I said. "The one you and Athena found on the side of the road." Hera's smile quickly vanished. "I'll get that big baby," she growled. "No, listen," I said quickly. "The baby's mother worships you, Hera. She is so sorry she offended you. Not that it's her fault exactly," I added, "but she wanted to find a way to make it up to you. And so she has named her baby in your honor." "She named her boy Hera?" "No," I said. "She named him Hercules. It's Roman. It means, for the glory of Hera." Hera stared at me, unsmiling. She folded her arms across her chest. "Is that your nice news,
Okay.
Hades?"
I nodded. It's not every day you get a baby named to glorify you, is it? I'll go tell it to Zeus, Hera said. He'd probably believe you, but not me, Hades. I can see through your clever little schemes. She stood up. "And I'm going to get that baby!" She whirled around and marched off at a hop. She left me sitting there wishing I'd let Princess Alchemy name the boy Chickapika Wicka Wickas. Now I
You
was
know.
really worried about Hercules. Whether Persephone was away, or whenever Persephone was away, I dashed up to Thebes to check on him. And since Persephone lived up on Earth for 9 months of the year, I was up in Thebes quite a bit. Thebes quite a bit. Sometimes I put on my helmet of darkness and just checked to make sure Hercules was okay. But other times, I left off the helmet and hung out with the little guy. He was so cute, even if he did look a lot like Zeus. And when he called me Uncle Hades, oh, I have to say, it warmed my godly heart. Princess Alcmene was a lovely young mortal, and before long she married again. This time she picked a nice, steady mortal for a husband. Oh, dokie.
Oh,
Amphitryon.
Amphitryon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Antoine. Oh, Princess Acme told her new husband that Hercules was Zeus's son. She told Hercules too, even though the boy was much too young to understand what having T-Bams for a dad really meant. Antoine was fond of his stepson. And he could see that with the right training, such a big, strong toddler could become a big, strong hero. So when Hercules turned 5, Antoine decided to give him a hero's education.
Antoine?
Antoine called on experts from all over the world to come and train young Hercules. If he'd asked me, I would have told him just get the kid a couple of good wrestling partners. Shoot. But he didn't ask me. So I kept my mouth shut. One teacher showed Hercules how to race a chariot. One showed him how to shoot a bow and arrow. One taught him boxing. One trained him in long distance running. And finally, one came who taught him to wrestle. I was glad about that. Another teacher taught him how to lead an army into battle. Hercules loved all the physical training. He learned quickly. He was so big and
Okay.
strong.
Big and strong that he soon outraced, outshot, outboxed, outran, outwrestled, and outled into battle all his teachers. Antoine wanted young Hercules to have a well balanced education. So he also hired tutors to teach him how to read, write, count, write poetry, sing, and play charades. Hercules was all okay at charades, but he wasn't exactly a whiz at the sit down at a desk exercises. He didn't learn to count up to set to 10, and he took off his shoes. He could count up to 20. He read Frogius and Todius all the way to the last page. Eventually, he learned to write and even made up a few poems. This is one of my favorites. This
This is
is
funny.
my dad. I call him Pappy. He has lots of thunderbolts. I hope he won't zap me. Now, Hercules' age 6.5. But when he came to singing, Hercules was a disaster, and he knew it.
Okay.
Princess Alcmene and Amphitryon seemed very disappointed that the boy couldn't learn to sing. So on a day when I knew Zeus was away on business, I went up to Mount Olympus again. This time, I went to see Polyhymnia, the muse of music. "Hey, Polly," I said, when I found her just outside her muse bungalow. She was standing atop a little hill, practicing her scales. "Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, Hades," sang Polyhymnia. "What brings you down here to see me? I sat down on a bench nearby. "My nephew, Hercules," I told her. "He's Zeus's son, actually. Not that Zeus gives a fig one way or the other. Hercules is studying singing, but the boy can't carry a tune in a bucket. Maybe he could learn, though. He's only 7. You think there's anything you could do to help him?" "If anyone can help him, it's me, rang Polyhymnia. I told her when Hercules' next singing lesson was, and on the appointed day, Polyhymnia dropped by the
Okay.
palace music room.
I was there too. I didn't want Hercules to feel too much pressure, so I wore my helmet. "All right, my boy," said his music teacher, or "All right, my boy," said his music teacher, Linus. "Start warming up your voice." Hercules opened his mouth and sang. That
Oh my God.
was all it took to send Polyphemus. Okay, that was all it took to send Polyphemus running from the room with her. Polyphemus running from the room with her hands over her ears. I caught up with her just before she ran out the gates of Thebes. 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 I persuaded her to come and sit with me at a little cafe and calm down. "Don't ever let him sing again," she sang as the waiter brought out our cappuccinos. "He sounds like his Zeus's tone did?" I asked. "Who knew? So there's nothing you can do?" "Forget about it," sang Polyphemus. But Linus Polyphemus.
Oh, that's a disease. Polyhymnia.
Oh, my bad. Polyhymnia.
Like a hymn. Like a
My
hymn,
bad.
a hymnal.
Okay, my bad. Polyhymnia.
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 Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wordsmith.
Well, no, it's just that polythemia is an actual disease.
No, but I know, but Bob is a wordsmith, you guys. He really is. He loves words and he's very great at them. And I'm not.
Thank you. Thank
So
you. You're brilliant. This is awesome.
Oh.
By the way, in all seriousness, I'm having a blast. I want to thank
I'm
you.
so
This
glad. I'm
good.
so glad.
insanely fun. This is really
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
I'm so glad. But Linus refused to give up on his pupil. Twice a week he came to the palace to give Hercules his singing lessons. I happened to be there for the very last one. Okie dokie.
Ooh, I get to sing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Oh, sang Linus as he plucked the strings of his lyre. Now, you try it, Hercules. It's time for my archery lesson, said Hercules. First the scales, said Linus. Oh, dang, said Hercules. Sing now, ordered Linus. Hercules drew a deep breath and sang. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. No! Linus cried. He drew back his hand and slapped Hercules right across the face. Big boo-boo. No one had ever hit Hercules before. His eyes flashed with anger. His chubby face turned bright red. Ooh, he grabbed Linus's lyre and aimed at his teacher, knocking him flat. Oops, said Hercules when he realized what he'd done. He quickly picked up his teacher. Even at age 7, he was that strong, and carried him through the palace to his old nursemaid. The nursemaid looked at the big bump rising around Linus's left eye. He'll live.
He'll live, she said. He's going to have quite a shiner. Finally, Linus came to. Oh, he moaned. Sorry about slapping you, Hercules. Sorry about bonking you with the lyre, said Hercules. It was an accident, sort of. The two forgave each other, but Linus was never quite the same after that. He took the wearing of a dead fish over his left eye. He said its scales reminded him never to make Hercules sing his scales if he didn't want to.
He's just gonna put his hands on somebody's kid like that.
I know it, right?
I know, right?
Deserve
He
to get hit with
lost
that
his
lyre.
rabbit ass mind. What?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, is this
one
my
more?
turn?
No, it's my turn. If
Oh,
we
mine.
decide to
I'm
keep
sorry.
going.
Well, I'm sorry.
You
God.
better hurry up, Tim, and take it.
I'm right. Chapter
Right?
4, Big Tattletale. Hercules kept growing bigger and stronger. Most of the time, he was a kind-hearted boy. But when Hercules got angry, accidents seemed to happen.
Sorry.
I stopped by
That
the
one's loud.
palace one afternoon when Hercules was around 9. I only meant to stay a couple of minutes, so I had on my helmet. Princess Alcmene was out on the royal lawn with her son and his cousin, Eurystheus. Hercules was big, brawny, and healthy. Yuri was pale, scrawny, and had a seriously runny nose. The boys were total opposites. Why don't you two play a game of catch? Princess Alcmene said. She tossed her son a ball and went back into the palace. Catch, Yuri! Called Hercules. He threw it. Yuri.
Oh, that's
Wild
me.
throw. Okay.
Wild throw. Yuri wiped his nose with the back of his hand. Go get the ball. Problem, said Hercules. He went after it. Yuri was a creepy little kid, but Hercules was being nice to him. I thought maybe he'd outgrow his bad temper. Wrong. Catch! Called Hercules. Once more, he threw the ball to his cousin. It was an easy little blooper of a throw, but Yuri missed it. Wild throw! Wild throw! Wild throw! Get the ball, whined Yuri. Get the ball yourself. Okay, said Hercules. And he did. I'm ready, called Yuri. Ready for someone else to play catch with. I'll aim it better this time, said Hercules. He threw the ball. It hit Yuri right between the eyes. Oops, said Hercules. Yuri cried, running toward, okay.
The palace. His nose was running like crazy. Hercules hit me with the ball. It was an accident, said Hercules when his mother rushed outside. I was trying to throw it so he could catch it. He turned to his cousin. Sorry, Yuri. He did it on purpose, Yuri told Princess Acne. Did not, said Hercules. I believed him, but his mother wasn't so sure. All right, Hercules, she said, you get a timeout. Hercules had to sit on the stump for 15 minutes and watch while his mom played catch with his slimy, nasty nose cousin. When his time out was over, Hercules got the ball back. Play nicely, Princess Acme said as she went back inside. Catch, said Hercules. He threw a gentle underhand toss. Yuri missed again.
You can't throw that ball, chanted Yuri. You can't throw it at all. Hercules' eyes began to flash with anger. His face turned red. I thought about whipping off my helmet and trying to calm him down, but to tell you the truth, I was half ready for Hercules to get at that little stinker. I'm not chasing that ball, said Yuri. If you want it, go get it. Hercules ran and picked up the ball. Heads up, he called and threw it. Bonk. The ball hit Yuri on the top of his head and bounced off. Ow! Cried Yuri. Hercules caught the ball in the air and threw it again.
Dang, Hercules.
Ow! Ow! Cried Yuri. And again. Bonk. Auntie! Cried Yuri.
Okay.
When Yuri's mother came to pick him up, she was horrified. Eurystheus, she cried. Your little head, it's all lumpy. Yuri wiped his nose on his sleeve and pointed at Hercules. He did it! Beast! Yuri's mother yelled at Hercules. Hercules is sorry, said Princess Alcmene. He wants to apologize. But Yuri's mother dragged Yuri off. Later, I heard that she spread the word to all the other moms in Thebes. She told them not to let their kids play with Hercules, that he was out of control. After that, I didn't see Hercules for a while. No reason, really. I was busy in the underworld. Then one day, an invitation came. Hercules is turning 10. Please come to his surprise birthday party next Saturday at 10 o'clock. On the day of the party, I showed up. I'd brought the kid a great present, a complete set of Immortals of Wrestling cards.
Very rare, worth a fortune. Welcome, Hades, said Princess Alcmene. You're the first to arrive. We've invited every boy and girl in Thebes, right?
Thebes.
To come too. They'll be here any minute. Is Yuri coming, I asked. No, he and his mom moved to Mycenae, said the princess, but there will be lots and lots of kids. But an hour later, only a 2-year-old boy had shown up, little Theseus. His mother had brought him all the way from Trozen, which was why she hadn't heard about Hercules' temper. When Hercules came into the nearly empty palace yard, he wasn't disappointed because he didn't know about the party. He was just happy to have such an enormous birthday cake all for himself and Theseus, who was too little to eat very much. This is a wake-up call, Alchemy, said Amphitryon, after Theseus had gone home and, okay.
Hold on.
The party was over.
Oh, and the party was over. We have to do something about Hercules, said Amphitheater. His terrible temper has made him an outcast.
Uh-oh. Andre
The boy
3000.
doesn't know his own strength, Acne admitted. Now, he could hurt somebody someday. She turned to me. You're his Uncle Hades. Can you come and stay with him? Can he come and stay with you for a while? Now I'd like to help you out with this one, Acne. I told her. Really, I would, but live mortals aren't allowed down in the underworld. I'm sorry. My second cousin Hummus and his wife Peter, oh my God, have a dairy farm out in the middle of nowhere, Amphitheater said. Why don't we send Hercules there? Cows are peaceful, mellow creatures, Maybe if he tends cows for a while, Hercules will, mellow too. All right, said Agni, but you have to tell him. No, you, said Amphitheater. In the end, they decided to write Hercules a note.
Okay.
Dear son, pack your bags. First thing tomorrow, you are leaving on a surprise adventure. Your loving parents, P.S. Pack everything. You may be gone for a while.
Not kicking the baby out.
Yeah, they are.
Chapter 5. Not So Big Adventure. I felt bad for Hercules, being banished and all. So I put on my helmet and stuck around, just in case he needed me. That night, Hercules brushed his teeth as usual. Okay.
Dang.
He put on his PJs. He was climbing into bed when he spied the note. He picked it up and began sounding out the words. Awesome, he said, when he'd read the whole thing and looked at the map Amphitryon had drawn on the back. Right away, he started packing. He didn't wait for morning, but set off in the moonlight following the map. I set off with him, though he didn't know it at the time. Hercules walked for 3 whole nights.
Okay.
And
3 whole days. Even though he was only 10, he was bigger than most men, and many times stronger, so he felt completely safe out on his own. On the morning of the 4th day, Hercules came to a farm. It was out in the middle of nowhere, just as Amphitryon had said. Whoa, said Hercules. He looked very surprised. Was this where he was supposed to have an adventure? He knocked at the farmhouse door. You must be Hercules, said his stepfather's second cousin when he opened it. Welcome. You look like a good worker. Let's get you started, shall we? We shall. Let me rest first, Hannah, said his wife. Have it your way, Peter, said Hummus. Hummus and Peter laid out a huge spread of dairy products from their cows: cottage cheese, cream cheese, yogurt, and butter. Hercules ate a big breakfast. I managed to snag a piece of cheese myself. I sprinkled on some okay.
My ambro salt, and it wasn't half bad. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Okay. Yes. All right. When Hercules was finished, when Hercules had finished eating, Hummus and Peter walked him out to the barn. Hercules patted the first big black and white cow he came to. Nice cow. Can I take care of this one? That cow said, no. You get to care for the whole herd, said Hummus. Hercules looked down on the row of stalls. There were hundreds of cows. Hercules smiled. Cool, no problem. Around for a couple of weeks. I waited until Hercules got into a routine. Each morning, he fed the cows hay. Then he led them to the pasture to graze. While the cows were grazing, Hercules mucked out the barn. This was no small task, as it was a huge barn with lots and lots of muck. In the evening, Hercules put out fresh hay for the cows. He filled their troughs with fresh water. After that, he went to the pasture and led his cows back to the barn for the night. He sat with them until they fell asleep. Aww. Then Hercules climbed into his own bed,
which was in the barn, and he fell asleep too. Life on the farm wasn't such a surprise adventure, but Hercules liked the cows. He never complained. Princess Alchemy and Amphitheater never told where Hercules was going. Not that anyone asked. Everyone seemed just as happy to have him out of the way. I figured Hera would have a hard time finding out where he was. I thought the boy was safe on the farm, so I took off. Hercules stayed on the farm and took care of the cattle for 8 years. I checked on him from time to time. Hummus and Peter grew fat and lazy. Let Hercules do all the work. But Hercules grew stronger and stronger. One day, when he stopped by to check in on Hercules, Peter had just handed him a letter that had come for him. I read it over his shoulder. Dear Hercules, Happy birthday, son. You're 18 today. We'll let you little take or a thing of the past.
Okay.
Now the time has come for you to decide what path you will follow when you go out into the world. Stop by the palace and see us sometime. Your loving parents. Hercules scratched his head. What do they mean, go out into the world? That's what they said? Asked PETA, alarmed. They don't mean it, said Hummus. Forget going out into the world. Stay here, Hercules, said PETA. You can have all the yogurt you want. Hercules nodded, but I could tell he was puzzled. I followed invisibly behind him as he headed out to the pasture. He sat down among the cows. He pulled up a handful of grass and chewed on it while he thought. I was just about to take off my helmet and have a chat with Hercules when I saw two tall women walking toward him. Ye gods, where had they come from? I decided to stay invisible.
Okay. Hercules saw them too. He blinked. His mouth gaped open in surprise. The women stopped before him. Both were very beautiful. One wore a plain white robe. The other wore a fancy red robe with way too much gold trim.
Like mine.
Oh! Greetings, Hercules, said the one in the red and gold robe. Hercules almost choked on his grass. How do you know my name? We know all about you, said the white-robed woman. You're trying to choose which path in life to follow. Whoa, exclaimed Hercules. You do know everything. Can you help me? That's why we're here. The white-robed woman smiled. Who were these two? I'd never seen them before. Neither had a goddess glow, but they didn't look like mortals either. I didn't trust them. Follow my path, Hercules, said the red-robed woman. You will always eat good food, okay?
And drink fine wine. You will have servants. You would never have to work hard. You will have piles and piles of gold. What fun you shall have. Fun, said Hercules. Whoa. Follow my path, Hercules, said the white-robed woman. On this path, you will help those who cannot help themselves. You will do back-breaking labor. You will work and sweat and toil. Then you will work and sweat and toil some more. Horrible monsters will try to kill you. Now, you will almost always be in terrible danger. But the gods will respect you. Respect, said Hercules. Whoa. Now you must choose, Hercules, said the red-robed woman. Which path will you follow? Said the one in white. Let me think, said Hercules. He didn't say anything for the longest time. The two women looked at each other. Now, we thought this might happen, said the white-robed woman. So we each wrote a list for you, said the red-robed woman.
They handed their list to her.
Oh yeah, wait. Sorry. Go ahead.
They handed their list to Hercules. Here's what it said. Easy path. No hard work. Good meats and cheeses. Fine wines. Servants. Piles of gold. Fun. Hard path. Back-breaking labor. Grilled bread crust, etc. Water, if you can find it. Horrible monsters. Thanks from the helpless. Constant danger. Hercules sounded out the words on the list. Then he smiled. It's a no-brainer, he said. I choose the hard path. You're kidding, said both the women at the same time. Why? All I had to eat for the past 8 years is cheese, said Hercules. I can take any more.
Okay.
I slapped my invisible forehead with my invisible hand. Hercules was letting cheese determine his fate. Is that your final answer? Asked the white-robed woman. Hercules nodded. The white-robed woman burst out laughing. I won! I won! Oh, don't rub it in, said the red-robed woman. She glared at Hercules. Are you ever going to be sorry? Come on, said the white-robed woman. Let's go tell Hera. Had she sent these women? I jumped to my feet, but I was too late. Poof! The women vanished into thin air.
And we are going to stop right there.
Yay!
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.